Hello, my name is Sandy, and I will be talking about the reasons why my family decided to move to Shenzhen. Before I start, however, I would like to define some key terms. First term would be SEZ, which refers to Special Economic Zone, which is a special area or geographical region that has different economic laws than the rest of the country. While the objective is to attract foreign companies and investments, the SEZ policies also attracts domestic companies because of its infrastructural advantages. SEZs usually lead to dramatic growth in a limited period of time. Two other terms I would like to mention are push and pull. For instance, I will be talking about the push and pulls of the economic factors that led my family to move here. A push being the factors that made us feel like Shenzhen was a really good choice, while pulls were the factors that we needed to reconsider before we moved here. All of this comes back to the general question: why did my family move to Shenzhen, and what were the aspects that affected our decision? I was lucky enough to be able to interview my mom, so let's see what she says.
从历史的角度来想，为什么我们会选择深圳来居住呢？
因为深圳呢是一个移民城市，这个原来深圳呢从历史上它只是一个小岛嘛，一个渔村。这中国改革开放的这个大的环境指引下吧，它现在发展这么强大了，而且呢，深圳移民城市，很多外地人到这里来掏他的第一桶金。
China opened up to the world in 1978, increasing GDP and lifting over 800 million people out of poverty. This was followed by Shenzhen becoming an SEZ zone with only 310,000 residents. As seen from the graph presented, we could tell that the growth of Shenzhen as a city was especially visible during the first few years of the SEZ policies, and the GDP is maintaining a steady growth over the years. However, I will talk more about this in the economic section of my video, and I would like to move on to the history of my hometown and how that affected my family's decision to move. When my parents were young adults stepping into society, there was a lack of control of the government, and gangsters were a huge problem. A problem so huge to the extent where people feared having fame and having money because they know if they were more powerful than those gangsters, they will be putting both them and their families in terrible danger. So the name of my hometown stunk for the lack of security even to today, and it hindered the economy and its growth for many years, even now. And this is the reason why my parents were so shocked and impressed when they first stepped foot in Shenzhen, because this city, so vibrant and fast-paced, created a large comparison with what they were used to. Today, the province of Jilin is a less developed province compared to the leading cities like Shenzhen. All families, before making a large decision, have to consider the pros and cons or the push and pulls of the choice you're going to make. In this case, the pull would be the fact that my parents would be far away from home. However, in this case, they believe the push outweighs the pull, which is the fact that I will be able to receive higher education. However, moving to this new city doesn't only bring benefits to me. Both my parents work in the jewelry industry, and they have a lot of factories here. In Shenzhen, because of the SEZ policies, human work costs are lower than other parts of this country.
在经济的方面，什么让你觉得深圳是个特别好的选择？而且还有什么方面让你觉得深圳不是个那么好的居住地？
好的选择呢，先说好的啊。好的选择呢，是因为我们在这里就是因为有生意嘛，可能说跟工厂啊，还有这些生意伙伴啊，沟通起来更方便。
To summarize the reasons why, speaking economically, Shenzhen is beneficial to my family. So the first point would be the SEZ policies. Since my family works in the jewelry industry, we have to have a lot of imports from different parts of the world and different parts of China. Not only is Shenzhen close to Pearl River Delta, so it has a lot of seaports, and additionally, it also has SEZ policies, which helps my family get better goods with a cheaper price. The second reason why is because we have a lot of factories and business partners here. If we come and live in Shenzhen, communication will be much more easier. While if we lived in my hometown, we would have to travel between these two cities.
不好的方面呢，就是因为就我们的生意不在深圳，是在东北老家。
Even though the factories that create the products are in Shenzhen, the actual business is in Jilin, my hometown. However, my parents' company promotes a partnership system, where they split their stores amongst the workers that have worked here for a long time and the ones they trust the most. Believe it or not, over 78% of the workers have worked here for more than 5 years. Because of mutual trust and the long-lasting relationship between my parents and their employees, the business still thrives to this day even though they are managing it virtually in Shenzhen. Another factor I would like to mention are geographical features that influenced our decision to move to Shenzhen. Here is what my mom says.
现在你能讲一下，就是从地理方面来讲，为什么我们选择深圳当一个居住地？
从地理方面呢，东北相对比较偏僻，之后呢，可能交通啊，方方面面没那么便利。
Imagine if I was to travel somewhere right now. If I was in my hometown and I wanted to travel internationally, it would be a very complex process. First of all, the town itself does not have an airport, meaning I have to travel 2 hours to go to an airport in the next town. Afterwards, I have to travel to a larger city in China and go to an even bigger airport. Bigger airports then hopefully will have international travel tickets. However, if I was in Shenzhen, I have 2 choices. I could go by boat to Hong Kong and travel internationally, basically anywhere, because Hong Kong is the portal from China to the world. I do have another choice, which is to go to the airport 30 minutes away from my house. How convenient is that compared to traveling from my hometown?
东北呢，特别的寒冷，在这寒冷的条件下呢，对人身体就很没有帮助。
My hometown is very cold, and it's snowy most of the time. Therefore, there is a lot of sicknesses that only happen in those cold areas. Like a lot of leg problems in old people occur because of the cold weather, or respiratory system sicknesses that happen because the weather is like really, really cold. Especially for children, these diseases could be very harmful. As people like to say, Shenzhen is 4 seasons of spring. The weather is usually warm and it is beneficial for both old people and young people. In this video, I have analyzed why my family decided to move to Shenzhen from my hometown in 3 different aspects. The first being the historical factors, the second being the economic factors, and the third being the geographical factors. I would like to give special thanks to my mom for her time to attend my interview and my dad for the background information of the historical factors.